Good morning, everybody. This is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center. First of all, Happy New Year to you guys. 2023, new year, new you. Today we have a special interview with Chasa. She is from Legacy Dispatchers. Remember, I've been advertising on YouTube and Instagram that we're going to have on January 26th a low board mastermind seminar where Chasa is going to be doing load planning and moving freight and booking loads for her carrier. We also have Mr. Sadan, who is Sadan Consulting. He's one of the people I work with, very good at what he do, and I'm sure he'll leave his information. But today we're going to do a small interview with Chasa and see what she's got going on and things of that nature. All right, Sadan.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year. Again, this is another student turned star from Exodus Logistics. So today we're just gonna find out what she's got going on, where she started, how she got good at what she does, to the point where she can actually have her own business. So without any further ado, we're gonna jump in with the CEO and founder of Legacy Logistics, Miss Chasa. So how you doing?
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay. So what we like to do is we like to start at the beginning. So before dispatching, what were you doing?
Oh boy, I was doing a lot. I was working for a medical transcription company. I was a proofreader. I've been an administrative assistant. I've started a uniform business. I also started a business where you could work from home doing customer service. So I did a little bit of that too. And that's a little bit of, I'm just trying to put it in a nutshell because it is a lot, but for the most part, that's what I've been doing.
So you've had a few jobs before this.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it about dispatching that drew you?
I wanted to try something different. I wanted to continue to work from home. I wanted a flexible schedule. And I wanted to be in business for myself. I didn't want to work for anybody else. The trucking industry was totally new to me. My husband told me one day he wanted to start driving trucks and asked me to dispatch for him. So I basically went on YouTube and I started watching videos and I was like, hey, like people are out here actually dispatching, making money. So why not give it a shot? Why not try it out?
Absolutely. So what drew you to Charles in particular, though? Because there's a lot of people doing this.
Yes. What drew me to Charles, to be honest, YouTube was full of his videos when I started looking into dispatching. I mean, there are other people out there, but Charles's videos were popping up on my news feed all the time in YouTube. And so I started watching him and I started learning through his channel. And there's a particular video where Charles gives a test. It's kind of like a test. And I took it with him, with his video, and I passed it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm really learning how to be a dispatcher. I answered all those questions correctly. So that was my motivation for me to stay and keep working hard at it. That's it in a nutshell.
Okay, cool. So have you ever taken any other online courses before this, or was this the first time you ever took an online course?
I've never taken an online course before this.
Okay. So what was the thing that said, man, I know there's a lot of people getting scammed and there's a lot of people out there taking online courses and offering online courses. What was the one deciding factor that said, I'm going to do this? Because a lot of people just are afraid, never do anything. So what made you take the leap?
Well, a lot of people are afraid. I'm just not one of those people. I'm willing to take a leap. I, strongly believe that people bet on basketball games, football games, all types of sports. And my attitude is, if I'm going to bet on a celebrity, somebody that I don't even have a personal relationship, someone that I don't have any kind of history with, why not bet on me? I know me better than anybody else. So that's basically, what made me take the leap. But Charles in particular, he gave the impression that he was just a genuine person. Like he wasn't out there putting YouTube videos up and then saying, hey, take my course and you know, you're gonna make millions and millions of dollars. He was very transparent. You know, in his videos, he says, you know, it's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be rewarding. You know, and when you start looking at someone on a regular basis like I was, and you start seeing that they're genuine and they are knowledgeable, you don't let something like that go. So that's kind of what, you know, drove me to go to Charles.
So you kind of had a bit of a relationship with Charles before even knowing.
Basically. And the first time I spoke to him on the phone, I was fanning like a crazy person. I was like, oh my God, I'm speaking to Charles. I've been watching this man, falling asleep watching this man, you know, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool. So you actually are getting to talk to him personally. So it wasn't just like, you know, some DVDs or PDFs and then you can't find the guy.
No.
Right.
No.
And not only that, now you actually get to work with him.
Yes, and that's exciting.
You know, so the Legacy Logistics, that's your company, right?
Yes. Legacy Dispatchers is my company.
Okay, Legacy Dispatchers. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Like, get it right. So how does a person go from laying in the bed watching videos to having a company
though? That's
hard.
I don't even know how to start off answering that question. I'm watching this on YouTube every day. I'm falling asleep watching it, and I'm starting to dream about it. You know, and you know, once you start dreaming about something, that's more motivation to go out and to make it happen. You know, and so I just went through all the channels that I needed to go to. How do I start my business? Who do I talk to? I went to my circle. I have a large circle of people who are entrepreneurs. And I just started telling them what I wanted to do, trying to give them an idea of what the business is, because a lot of people, they don't even know anything about dispatching. You know, a lot of people don't know much about logistics, period. So when I was talking to them, it was kind of like I was talking some alien language to them. But
so,
they
let's just stop right there. Exactly what is dispatching? For like somebody who's watching this who maybe is in that group of people who don't know, what is it?
Okay, so dispatching is a service that someone provides to a carrier to help them keep moving on the road. So dispatching, it's simple. It's basically finding loads for the truck driver, finding good loads, decent paying loads, being able to negotiate the rate with the brokers, and also striving to have a good relationship with the driver so you guys can build together and make money together.
Okay. So why don't drivers do it for themselves?
It's time consuming. It's very time consuming. Finding loads can take you the whole entire day. And especially when you start off and you're not seasoned, it will take you the whole entire day. And they don't have time for that. They want to get on the road. They want to make money. You know, they have families they're providing for. So we kind of are the middleman. We remove that time that it's going to take for them to look for loads and do negotiations and all that other good stuff.
So basically, if they don't have dispatchers, they don't make any money.
Basically. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. They are going to make money, but it's just going to take more time.
Okay. So you're saving them time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saving them time. You're allowing them to spend time with their families and exchange their pain.
Correct.
Okay. So do you have to leave your house to do dispatching?
Absolutely not. That's the wonderful part about dispatching. You don't have to leave your house. You can do it from anywhere. If you go on vacation, as long as you have your computer, as long as you have a cell phone, you can dispatch. You can dispatch right in the car. You know, if you're driving on vacation, you know, no, you don't. You can do it right from home. You can do it anywhere.
Great. So how would you say your life has changed since you started dispatching?
I have more time with my family. I have a little one, and spending time with her is very, very important. I also, it's allowed me to understand my drivers better. You know, we have better conversations. I kind of understand what they want, and I'm definitely listening to everything so that I can take care of their needs. I've met a lot of people, a lot of networking with brokers, with other dispatchers. And so my circle has grown professionally, you know, and we all kind of feed off of each other. So dispatching has definitely been a positive thing in my life.
Okay. And now when you're interacting with people, you're interacting as the head of a company, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not only have you been able to get out of the worker space and work for yourself, now you're actually CEO, boss, as they say, quote unquote.
Yes,
So
and it feels good. It feels good not to be a worker bee. You know, it feels good not having someone tell you you have to do this, 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 and if you don't, you're gonna get fired. You know, it feels good to make my own schedule. You know, it feels good to bring in my own money, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
great. So now one thing you also said was season. So when you say season, what exactly do you mean for somebody sitting at home?
I mean, someone who has been dispatching for a certain amount of time and who has actually gained the knowledge of a dispatcher. When I first started out, I was all the way green. I didn't know anything. I had YouTube videos. Eventually, you know, I ended up linking up with Charles, and I didn't know nothing. I was truly like, it was what's the word that I'm looking for? It was more like making mistakes on a daily basis and getting frustrated and not knowing what to do. It was like being in a paper bag and not knowing how to bust out of it, for lack of a better word, because I can't find any other way to describe that.
So what did Charles teach you that really made the difference?
Charles teaches you so much. I mean, Charles taught me everything. So when you say, what does Charles, he taught me everything. He taught me what type of equipment I'm going to be dispatching for, what type of equipment to look for. He taught me certain documents that I need to have, you know, like limited power of attorney, how important that is, you know, what my contract's supposed to look like. I could go on and on. Charles has taught me so much, so much. We don't have enough time for me to finish telling you all the things that he's taught me. But what I can tell you is that Charles has also taught me that you have to want this. You have to want to be an entrepreneur. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to ask questions, because closed mouths don't get fed. So if you hear something, it doesn't sound right, reach out to Charles, you know, do your research, put your all into it. Don't just put 50% into it, put 110% into it, and you will reap the benefits of it.
Okay. So you're living proof. And not only at this point is it something that you do, it's kind of become a family business, right?
Yes. So I started I started dispatching. My husband decided not to become a truck driver, and instead he became a broker. So
Okay.
it's interesting work days with us. Also, my younger son, he's 18 years old. I just started showing him how to dispatch. So it's now a family affair at this point.
Okay. So you guys get to see each other every day. You're getting to have breakfast or lunch or something because we're all in the same house.
Yeah, we're all in the same house, and we have a lot of interesting conversations. I get a little piece of what goes on the broker side, and he gets a little piece of what goes on the dispatcher side, and we communicate all day. So we're bouncing ideas, we're bouncing problems and issues off of each other all day long. It's always a learning experience. You never stop learning, whether you're dispatching or you're brokering.
Okay. And that's a beautiful thing. So we have business together, or businesses together, so to speak, and we have relationships and family, and it's just all intertwined, and nobody can fire you.
That's the best part. That's the best part. Nobody can fire me.
That is a beautiful thing. So I'm gonna be mama, and I'm gonna be the head of my organization all day, every day.
Yes. We got two voices in one house, and it's pretty interesting.
Right. And now the next generation is coming up. So how do you, I mean, if you're talking to moms out there, because I mean, obviously you're a mom, you're a wife, if you're talking to other moms out there, what would you recommend that they do?
Jump into Charles's class. That's the first thing I'm gonna tell you to do. Sign up for his class. He has a whole lot of resources. And continue to look at YouTube videos. I'm gonna tell you that as well. I mean, you are gonna definitely get everything you need from Charles, but the YouTube videos help in the sense of I dispatched for a dry van. I was dispatching for hot shots. And I had a chance to look at some videos on dry vans and hot shots, and I've looked at equipment videos, so at least I know what these guys are driving, and so I'm not all the way green when I'm talking to them. So if you're a mom out there and you're thinking about jumping into dispatching, jump into Charles's course. It is very beneficial. You have a lot of resources. Charles is there for you. All you have to do is just pick up the phone and give him a call. He does offer live trainings as well. And secondly, use YouTube. Use YouTube also to help you when it comes to looking at what type of equipment that someone is driving. Listen to some of these truckers videos. Look at some of these truckers videos. They're talking about day-to-day issues that you're gonna deal with. Whether it's rejected loads or the truck breaking down or anything like that.
So that's going to help you build better relationships with the drivers, because you'll understand a little bit more about what they do, what they need, so you can kind of troubleshoot and be there for them and be essential in regard to their day-to-day lives.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. You want to relate to them. You want to relate to them. And once they know that you can relate to them, then you'll start gaining their trust a lot more easily. They know, they'll have an idea that you understand what they're going through. And you're not just in it for the money.
Right. So it becomes literally two people partnering together for the greater good.
Yes.
Well, speaking of partnering together, on January 26th, we have something very important coming up, and that is the Load Board Mastermind, which is a joint venture between Exodus Logistics Learning Center and Legacy Dispatchers. So can you tell me a little bit about that, guys?
You want me to go first, Charles?
Yeah, you go first.
I go first. I'm excited about it. This is our first time that we're doing the Load Board Mastery Seminar. It's going to be live. It's not going to be recorded. It's going to be very interactive. It just gives dispatchers out there the opportunity to go on the load board and look for loads. And then we're going to break down the load board also. A lot of load boards have the same functions. So we're just going to be breaking down those functions, showing the dispatchers how to look for loads efficiently, effectively, and in a timely manner. Because when you go on the load board, it can be confusing to someone who's never seen it before. But what I do want to say to the dispatchers who haven't even had access to load board or who are not in Charles's class, the load board is a necessity. You're not going to get around not using a load board unless you know a whole lot of brokers, and then you can avoid that. But let's just be honest, when you start dispatching, you need that load board. So that's what this seminar is, about as well, showing you how to use this tool that's a necessity to help you make money.
Okay. So if you get good, mastery is what we're talking about, mastering the load board. So if you start to get to that season level, that mastery level, how does that change your income?
It changes it tremendously.
Because it allows you to do what?
Because it allows you to go on a load board, look at the load board, and 5, maybe 2-3 minutes, you already know if the load is a good paying load, if it's a good rate. You know, you don't have to spend as much time looking for multiple loads going from one place to another. You can just go on the load board and you'll see it right then and there. It'll just pop out to you.
So it'll start calling your name like,
Basically.
pick me.
Yep, me. Once you master that load board, it'll happen.
And then, and like you say, it'll save you time. It'll make your day go a lot smoother. It'll allow you to have better relationships with the drivers. And then you'll be able to just have more fun.
More fun, and most importantly, you'll have more carriers. You know, if you have, you know, 5 carriers, 4 carriers, 10 carriers, when you master that load board, it'll be easier for you to find loads for your carriers and keep it moving to the next carrier.
Charles, break that down a little bit more for us. So if I have 5 carriers and I got really good loads, what does that look like?
So there's several variables involved in that. The first variable is how much you're charging to your carriers as far as a percentage or a flat fee. Let's go with the percentage. The percentage range is between 5 and 10, right? A fair amount. Anything beyond that, you're greedy, right? So 5 to 10%, let's say a fair was 7%, right? So I'll break out the calculator while I'm talking to you at the same time. So you charge your carrier 7%. If you gross that carrier, or if you can gross the carrier, let's say with the market being down right now, realistically, right? Because I always want to stay fair and give realistic numbers. So if you grossed it between 7,000 and 9,000 for the week,
okay,
right? And you charging 7% of that, so that's 7% of 7,000. That's $490 to you between, and then 9,000, 7% of 9,000 is $630 to you. So you're going to make between $490 and $630. Let's say you do the high end. Let's say you get them 9,000 for the week, and that can be for 3 loads. A load picking up on Monday, deliver Wednesday, pick up on Wednesday later, deliver Friday, pick up that Friday and following Monday. So that's 3 loads a week, right? So with our load board mastery seminar, we talk about those kind of things and how to strategically plan and route those loads and the times involved in that too. So, but let's stay high level for a second. $9,000 for the week, 7%. That's what that's $630 gross to you, right? And you got 5 carriers that you're doing that for, right? Conceivably. So that's 3,100 gross, 3,150 for the week to you. I don't know a lot of employees that are making that a week out here in the workforce, right? Unless they have a specialized skill set, right? But if you're a regular 9-to-5 person working for a company on an hourly salary, you have to work 50 hours a week to even get close to that remotely, right? So with this, working from home, and the beauty of it, you can make it easy. Let's say you found a good broker that gave you good lanes or good loads, right? And you had your first carrier, number one, was a drive-in carrier. You put them in that lane for that broker. A lane is from picking up in one shipper location, transporting that load or freight or commodity securely to the receiver to deliver. That is a lane. So let's say Norfolk, Virginia to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? That's a lane. That's one lane. And it paid them $2,000, right? And you do that 3 times in that week. So that's 6,000. But let's say you get a 9,000. Let's say you get a big load and you got some other loads as well. Because you got to remember too, you also have to deal with what's called reloads or backhauls, right? To get out of there and going back to your money load, which is your line haul. So we go over that line haul and reloads or backhauls, right? But let's say for the week you gross 9,000, you get 630 on this good land, and you happen to scale your company by adding another equipment type similar to the one that you just booked the load for, which is a drive-in. So, which makes it easy. It makes sense to stay in the same
drivers, so to speak.
Right, you stay in the same niche equipment type for the same good-paying brokers lanes. It makes your job easier. You don't want to disperse all over the place. Well, a drive-in here, a flatbed there, and a reefer there. Now you have to know the specifics of each equipment type and on the specifications and the special instructions and all these other requirements, claims with reefers, things like that. But if you keep your equipment types the same with this good broker, then it's easier for you to scale right? And grow your company to 5 carriers, grossing $3,150 a week for yourself, because you're grossing your carriers $9,000 a week, and you're making 7% off of those 5 carriers. So
and you don't have to leave your house to do it.
No, you don't. I mean, unless you go to Starbucks or book Barnes and Nobles and sit in there and steal some Wi-Fi, but no, you don't have to leave your house to do it at all. Doing your pajamas, however you see fit, but you have to get familiar with, like Chasa was saying, and what we're going to talk about in our upcoming load board mastery seminar, is the specifics on the load boards, the user experience, the navigation portion of the load boards. What are each features when you're doing your filters and you're trying to find a load for your carriers? What are you looking for according to the profile of that carrier? Because when you got initially set up with that carrier under an agreement, a contract, a dispatcher agreement, they gave you, via your carrier profile form that you gave them to fill out, they gave you what they wanted, right? A profile. So all you have to do is cater your load search accordingly. And if you meet their requirements, you just say, hey, I found something for you. What do you think? Right? Go from there.
So essentially, if you master this load board, then you could find copycat drivers, and you could make 2 or 3 drivers into 5 or 6 drivers, which ultimately drives up the amount of money you make without really adding a whole lot more stress to your day.
Right. And let me say this too about the load board. So, and it's good for beginner dispatchers, right, to start off on the load boards. The load boards is freight that's called spot market freight, right? This is freight that was like the trucking companies may have rejected those tenders coming directly from the customer, so they had to put these loads on the load board to kind of get rid of them. You have spot market rates, and you have contract rates with direct customers, direct shippers, contracts with them. So we train you on the spot market rate because we want you to learn from the worst case scenario. So if you can make money from the worst case scenario, imagine when you graduate up into contract rated loads from direct customers, you're going to make more money, because those rates are definitely almost twice the rates of the spot market. Okay.
So really what it sounds like you're telling me is that once you get good at this, then the real money starts to come, because now people trust you. You build your track record, you build relationships. Am I right?
That is correct. So the first relationship, obviously, you're going to build is that relationship and that trust with your truck driver, your carrier, your owner operator, or trucking company. If you have like a little small fleet company of 3 or more trucks, you build that relationship. And then the next relationship you're going to build is between you, the dispatcher, and the brokers that you're dealing with on the load boards. And then finally, you're going to fuse the two. Okay? Going to fuse the two for the benefit of your carrier, for the benefit of the broker, because you are providing the broker capacity, you're providing the carrier income, and you're providing yourself in proportion to that income as well, based off of your percentage. So it's a win-win-win situation.
And you're right in the middle of it, because the brokers need you because they need drivers, and they don't have time to call and look for drivers. Correct?
That is correct. Now, the brokers do post their loads on load boards expecting calls from drivers, but if you have a dispatcher that's already can provide you capacity, because we as dispatcher, we go through a process of vetting our carriers before we even bring them into our company. Why would I put myself in the position of having a bad carrier and then sending them to a broker? They're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Like, why would you didn't even know that his authority wasn't active, or he had some stuff with his CSA scores or driving record or his inspections. So we try to advise our trainees, our students, to vet your carriers even before you send them a dispatcher agreement. Because if you don't, you're wasting your time. Because when you call a broker, they're definitely going to vet them. And if they see something that they don't like that's in accordance to the contract they have with their customers, they're not going to want to deal with it. So,
So when you say carrier, these are the truck drivers themselves, right?
Yeah,
or carrier.
So these are synonymous terms. The following terms are synonymous. They mean kind of the same thing. Carriers, truck drivers, owner operators, right? A carrier can be a trucking company with multiple trucks, right? Okay. That's also considered a carrier, right? A small fleet, right? A truck driver and owner operator. The owner operator can be a one-man team or can have a fleet of small trucks also. He's the owner of the company and he operates or drives the vehicle. That is an owner-operator. But they're kind of all loosely used synonymously, so they kind of means the same thing.
Okay. So now on Thursday, January 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you guys are going to have a live training.
Yeah,
that's correct. That's correct. You're going to be virtually standing over, well, Chasa's shoulders. I'll be moderating it, and she'll be on the phones dealing with her carriers, booking the loads with the brokers, and we'll just, when she get off the phone with the broker, we'll have like a little, okay, well, what did I just do, or what do you guys think of this? What do you know? We'll have a live, interactive, workflow of the day in the life of a dispatcher actually booking freight for their carrier in real time.
So they'll get to see it. They'll get to see it. Like, it won't be one of those things, you actually have load boards up, like, this is what you're looking for, this is how it works, step-by-step training.
Right. We'll share the screen. I'll share my screen, and I'll give the screen share to Chasa. She'll do her thing, and we can bounce it back and forth. Or while she's doing her thing, I can be explaining, okay, this is what she's looking at, this is what this means when you see, because I'm sure people are going to ask the questions in the chat or unmute themselves and ask questions. But I want to make sure that I moderate it, because I don't want their noise or their voice to be heard while Chasa's actually calling a broker or dealing with her carrier, right? So I'll moderate that in that sense. But yes, it's going to be in real time. So
it's going to be, and I'm sorry, Charles, it's going to be in real time. But one of the things that I also want to point out is, remember when I said earlier that the load board is a necessity. And to get back to your question, Sadan, when you said the difference between a new dispatcher and a seasoned dispatcher is when you started your relationship with the broker and you met the broker through looking at them on the load board, when you see their brokerage pop up on that load board, you don't have to call necessarily that number. You can call that broker that's associated with that company. So it saves you a lot more time, because now, and I'm just going to give you guys a gem right now. Now, when I see a load on the load board for RXO, which is a very good paying brokerage most of the time, I'm not going to call that phone number on the load board. I'm going to call my broker that I already have a relationship with, and I already have a contact with, because I know I'm going to get it more than what's on the load board, and I know I'm going to get him as soon as he picks up the phone. So when you become a seasoned dispatcher, not only are you looking for loads for your drivers, but when you start having relationships with the brokers and you see their brokerage on that load board, you can call them right then and there. You don't even have to, call whatever number is listed on the load board.
So you're not calling the broker, you're calling my friend Todd.
Yeah, I'm calling your friend Todd.
Right. So, hey, what up, Todd? I saw you got something. Or vice versa. Sometimes Todd has something and he's going to call you.
Right.
That is correct. He'll call you and say, hey, Chasa, or hey, Charles, do you have any capacity over here or over there? Do you have any trucks available? So on and so forth. And you can say, yeah, it just so happens I do. One carrier is empty, and he was looking for a reload or a backhaul back to where he lives. And what do you got? So those types of conversations and relationships are built over time. You as a dispatcher, along with your carrier performing, have to build a relationship with that broker and trust, right? By doing your job, right? Especially the carrier, picking up freight on time, transporting it securely, delivering it on time, no OS&Ds, overs, shorts, and damages, so no claims will come up. So because with claims, there's a lot of stuff going on with that. You have with reefer claims, you got USDA involved with regular general freight claims. You got the claimant could be the broker or the carrier or the shipper. So there's a lot of red tape. I've been through some things that I can break down claims. I will be here all day, right? So it's, as long as your carrier picks up and delivers on time, and you are following through with your carrier in that relationship, that will fuse over or spill over into the relationship with the broker, because they see that. And you could potentially get what's called dedicated freight, dedicated lanes, consistent freight. So now you always know where you're picking up and delivering to. You don't have to worry about finding anything on the load board, because now the broker has provided you with freight.
And that's where your friend Todd says, I only work with you.
That's right. That's right.
That is correct. So,
all right. But it all starts with the load board and being able to master that.
Right. So learning the basic foundational understanding what a load board is, what the purpose of it is, the user interface of it, the differences in the features of the load boards. Most load boards have some common features. Every load board has a pickup location, a delivery location, a pickup date, an equipment type. These other features will come in, we'll break that down, what they are, and how you can leverage that for your specific load search according to the load board that you're looking at, right? And so where you can provide a better result set for your carriers according to their profile. And that's basically all it is. Once you understand the workflow of it, sky's the limit at that point.
So we're going to teach you how to use it. We're going to teach you how to read it. We're going to teach you how to think when you're using it, what to look for, and how to then build the relationships on both sides with drivers and brokers so that you can take full advantage of it. So you never have to leave your house again unless it's to go to the store on vacation.
Even in a down market.
Yes. We're going to teach you how to use this tool that is a necessity if you are just starting out as a dispatcher. We're going to teach you how to master it.
There you go.
There it is. And it is on Thursday, January 26th. So now that we know what it is, how do we get our seat? Because I know seats are limited. Because obviously we want to give people maximum, screen time. They want to be able to ask questions. So we're not going to have thousands of people in there. So we're cutting it off at what, 100?
Yeah, around 100. If we can go past 100, that'd be fine. But our goal is at least 100. I have capacity for 3, but if we can get at least to 100, that'd be fine. The website is on our website, exodusdispatchingandtraining.com. You'll see at the top of the website the load board mastery seminar page, and I'll put the link to this video to that location in the description and in the comment section of this video, because this is going to be on YouTube. So, and I'm sure Chasa's audience as well, her channel as well. So, I have 28,000 subscribers, and then my Instagram as well. So we can put the location of where to go to get to it for you guys, right?
So one more thing before we get out of here. And I always like to ask this of people when they start a new career, they make a real pivot in their lives. And that's, Chasa, what's the coolest thing you've been able to do since you started dispatching? What's just like something you bought, something you were able to do that you didn't think you were going to be able to do that dispatching's allowed you to do?
The coolest thing? I want to say that it was putting a down payment on a family vacation. Like I said, I have a little one. She wants to go to Disney World. We all want to go to Disney World. Mm-hmm. And I was able to put a down payment on it. And it was all my money. It was all, I told my husband, I got this. I'm going to handle this. This is my reward to the family, and my reward to myself. So I want to say that was definitely the coolest thing.
So we're going to get the baby some of the Mickey Mouse ears and cotton candy.
All Disney. We all going to feel like a little kid again.
So I got 2 announcements to make then. Since you mentioned that, I had one announcement. The first announcement is if you see on the website that you have a free ebook, Dispatcher 101 ebook. I'm going to change that to 3 ebooks. All 3 of my ebooks, which are updated. So I'm going to include 3 free ebooks as opposed to 1.
Cool.
That's special announcement number 1. That's just came to my head. Boom.
Bonus.
Special announcement number 2 is for Chasa. Exodus, since you are partnering with us, Exodus Logistics Learning Center, I'm going to pledge $1,000 towards your family vacation trip.
Oh, okay? My God.
Bonus
number 2. So all you have to do is send me an invoice for that in your company's information so that I can write it off, obviously, right? But send me an invoice for $1,000, and that'll be for you and your family to enjoy yourselves at your vacation.
Oh my God, Charles, you're gonna make me cry. That was not the plan. Thank you.
Well, I was going to ask you what the coolest thing you've done since you got into the dispatching world, but I think we'll go with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know when I don't know when you guys are going. I'm assuming towards the spring, summer-ish that you guys are going, right? So, but yeah, send me an invoice in your business on your business side. That way I can expense it. But it'll be free for me. So I might as well just give it to you and okay. So,
Thank
but
you
yeah,
very much.
that's what we do. We try to help.
All right. Now, before we jump off, Charles, if you're not taking the course, how do you take the course? Because I know some people are going to watch this and they're like, well, how do I take the course? She keeps talking about the course to get the class. How do I do that?
That's very good. So on the same homepage, and I'll put that information in there too, but we have a light box that'll pop up now. And I've changed since the last time because it was a seminar. But,
Infamous light box.
yes, but 2023, new year, new you, Dispatcher 101 ongoing course. And the initial enrollment now is not just 30 days, but you get 90 days of enrollment. So even if you said no thanks right here, right? But let me go finish this. The live Zoom trainings are every second and fourth week of each month. Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and Saturdays at 12 noon Eastern. I'm gonna hit no thanks here. So let's say you hit no thanks because you say, okay, light boxes get on my nerve, right? So if you go to the website, you just go down to ongoing training. And it just will happen that we're having it 25% off, bringing the new year special, bringing a new year. So we had a 50% off special to end the year. Now we're having a 25% off. If you missed it, you get half of it, you get 25% coming in. Right. We went out of 2022 at 50%, we're coming in at 25, right? Mm-hmm. And your initial enrollment now gets you 90 days instead of 30 days before you decide. Like last year, you enrolled for the first 30 days and you decided if you wanted to continue enrolling. I mean, we did a month-to-month subscription for as long as you like, canceling in time. This year, instead of 30 days, you get 90 days to make that decision. So you get more time free in there after your initial enrollment to take advantage of all we have to offer in our course, which is all in here, right? Mm-hmm. Everything we offer, we give you access to, right?
So,
after 90,
right there, right there. That's pause. So not only do you get the classes, plus the live trainings,
right,
plus the ebooks,
right,
but then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we've already done over the last 3 years in regard to live trainings, in regard to other information that we've composed in a library. So there's like 3 years worth of stuff banked up, trainings that you could go back and look at and watch over and over again. You can see the ones that Chasa was laying in the bed watching.
Right.
And in the library too.
And you get to set up your own email and password to access our self-paced members portal. Mm-hmm. You get access to about 6 load boards we share our logins with to actually train yourself on the load boards. We get that. You get the tools and resources, all the form templates and documents. And we're going to institute this year, once you finish the 4 modules, you can submit to have a certificate of completion or the certificate of appreciation. So you get a certificate as well.
Hang it on the wall.
Right. So, and then after 90 days of this, all of this content, if you want to continue, because some people continue because just for the load board alone and the live trainings and the Zoom trainings alone, right? Okay. Because we're always updating our content and we're keeping pace with the market and the industry. So if you, after 90 days, the month-to-month subscription is $34.99 a month after 90 days. And we'll let you know a week prior to your 90 days coming up. We'll say, hey, your 90 days of access is coming to a conclusion. If you want to continue, let us know and we can start the invoicing process month to month and you can cancel anytime, right? So
that's going to give you access to live trainings even, so you could pop in occasionally and review. You can pop in and ask questions, any of that stuff. And then one cool thing I want to come back to and talk about that you said is it gives you the templates.
Right, the templates. And back to the live training. Not only do you get the live trainings, but you also get recorded training. All of our live trainings are recorded. And we have a video training library to go back and catch something that you may have missed live, right? Yeah. So,
and you get all that for 30 floor. Now I want to ask Chasa one thing about those templates, because I know your husband. You know, we've had conversations before, and we talked about just having people in your corner and having a community of people that just kind of help you get the right documents. So, how important are the right documents as a dispatcher?
It can make or break your business having the right documents. That's how I mean, that sentence says it all. I mean, there's documents in there, for example, like I said, the limited power of attorney, your contract, that's extremely important. Those two documents alone will make or break your business. You'll either be working for pennies or someone will be trying to sue you.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's priceless. It's priceless. And, you know, just to jump back onto the load board, 6 live load boards. I mean, even for whatever your reason may be, even if you don't take advantage of all these great resources that Charles offers, 6 live load boards, that's your moneymaker. That's your moneymaker right there. If nothing else, that's your moneymaker. So I strongly encourage everyone to take Charles's course. Okay. It's a win-win situation here. He's preparing you to get out there and dispatch. He's giving you the resources you need so that you can dispatch, and he's also offering the live training that I still jump in and out of to this day. You're never too seasoned not to go to class, not to get more information. The trucking industry is changing all the time, and if you think that you're not going to need his class moving forward, you're fooling yourself, because it's always changing. He's always putting things up on his boards. He's always talking about different things that's happening in the trucking industry, and you have to stay on top of it or you'll get left behind. Plain and simple.
And let me answer one of, because I know some questions are coming, but here's one that comes all the time. Is the industry saturated with dispatchers? Yes, it is. Okay. It's saturated with dispatchers who don't have a clue of what they're doing. My job as an instructor and someone who's teaching this particular field here, dispatching, freight dispatching, is to weed out the bad from the good by teaching the right way. That way, over time, the bad ones, the carriers are going to recognize the difference if they don't already, right? But they'll recognize it more so because I'll have more people coming in and I'm going to train them to be honest with these carriers. Don't try to be deceitful, because I believe in karma. Things come back on you, right? Just do it the right way, right? Do it the right way. And then the carrier's going to see that. The carrier's going to see when you're trying to play with their money. They're not fools, right? This is their business. This is their livelihood. So when they see any inkling of shadiness, they're not going to deal with you. So let's do it the right way. This is 2023. Let's get it right, right? So
just to piggyback on what Charles is saying, for anybody watching, almost anything in this world is oversaturated with average people. People with average work ethic, people with average morality, people with average skill level. But just like you look at a triangle, there aren't a whole lot of people who are really good at what they do, who have a great understanding of what they do, who work really hard, and who have high character. So what Charles is going to do is he's going to help you go from average to above average, and hopefully your work ethic can take you from average, above average to great. You know, but he's going to give you the tools to do it. He's going to point you in the right direction. He's going to put the things in your path that you need to pick up, so that when you finally get to a point where your work ethic matches your skill level, that you can really take full advantage of this opportunity. Would that be correct?
That would be very correct. And if there's a question that I cannot answer, I have at least 2, if not 3, members of my team that are second to none in this industry, whether transportation, trucking, intermodal freight brokering, warehousing, distribution, everything. So I've touched everything over a 19-year, 20-year period that pretty much, you know, once you've been in it that long, you've pretty much seen everything. You've done everything, right? So, and we're on the lowest level, and I don't want to sound demeaning when I say that about dispatchers, but they're the lowest one on the totem pole as far as hierarchy concerned, right? Dispatchers, brokers, truckers, whatever, right? So, and we're doing it from a basic level. The purpose of me doing it from a basic level is so that you can establish a foundation and get a solid foundation, because that's what you need to stand on. So when things come to shake you, you won't waver, right? So I give you basic terms, you'll be able to define things, and you'll be able to see the BS coming your way, because you would have gotten an alternative terminology and things thrown at you from our side, right? You'll be able to recognize what's real and what's not real. So,
as one of my friends always says, we working over here.
Yes.
So I know you guys are both busy because you're both CEOs, you're both own your own companies, and you probably got a lot of stuff to do. So with that being said, Chasa, before we get out of here, how can people find you?
Oh, absolutely. So, guys, I am on YouTube. I am under Legacy Dispatchers. If you go into YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you need to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at legacydispatchers@gmail.com. Please don't hesitate to send me an email. I'm here. I will answer. I answer all my emails. If I cannot answer your question, guess who I direct you to? Charles.
Bonus.
You'll get your question answered as best as as best to my ability. And I just want to say thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on today. Charles, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Don, thank you so much as well.
It has been a pleasure. It has been great. One more time before we get out of here, Charles. It's Thursday, right? The
Yes,
26th?
Yeah, Thursday, January 26th. You're referring to the low board seminar.
Yeah.
Thursday, January 26th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's normally a work day, but that's the time that we found convenient for us, for both of our schedules, in order to provide this service. And it's great because it's a work day, because it's a work day for the broker, it's a work day for the carrier. So what better way to train dispatchers than to give them a live experience in real time in those times that the brokers and the carriers are actually working, so.
Which is one of the reasons we really couldn't do this like on a Saturday or Sunday, because we needed to actually be able to talk to live brokers with load boards up and during business hours. So for anybody at home who's kind of wondering, like, well, why are they doing it on a Thursday? It's because we want to actually do it during business time so we can show you how business is actually done.
Correct.
Yeah.
And based off of the feedback and the experience that we're having with this one, we may entertain doing more. So at a later date.
So get your tickets now, reserve your seat, because seats are limited. I'm Sidon Long, and this has been another episode of Students to Stars. If you are looking for me, you can find me at growningrich.com, or you can go on any other social media platform and plug in SADONLONG, and you'll find me. Basically, what I do is I teach people how to make money online using their own name, image, and likeness. Now I'm gonna give it back to Mr. Charles, as they call him, aka the People's Champ.
Wow, thanks, Adon, for that, and thank you also, Chasa, for your time being here. For those of you who are interested and want to reach me, of course, exodusdispatchingandtraining.com is the website. The phone number is area code 757-515-1684. Why do you give your real phone number out? Because I got a second one. But the email is exoduslogisticsllc@yahoo.com. And then we have YouTube channels, Dispatcher 101 Training for Beginners. If you type that in the search bar, it'll come up with our Exodus logo. And then Instagram, as well as Facebook. You can reach us there as well. Instagram is at Exodus Learning. Facebook is Dispatcher 101 Training for Beginners. So with that, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for your time, Sidon. Thank you for your time, LaDonna. I mean, not LaDonna, I'm sorry, Chasa. Thank you for your time. I always talk to LaDonna a lot. My apologies.
Tell LaDonna I said hi.
I will. And
just another student turned star. That's all.
Yeah. She's a student turned star. She's a broker. So, so looking forward to the low board mastery seminar, and looking forward to you guys taking advantage of the 25% off.
So I'm going to pull it up one more time, Charles, before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
So if you go to our website,
right,
this
is the home. You'll be on the home page right here. This is the home page. Once you get here, exodusdispatchingandtraining.com. You have these headers at the top, right? The last header will be low board mastery seminar. You click that, you're on the page. And you pretty much read it from there. It's pretty simple to follow. You just click reserve and RSVP and buy now. And I'm going to change this. I'm going to change it to 3 free ebooks and go from there. And I need to get with the Wix team to add those other ebooks to the email. Yeah, the email campaign, so they'll know it goes out. So that's how you get there.
And if they couldn't remember the phone number, they didn't write it down. It's also right there at the bottom.
At the very bottom, yep. 75. Oh, they took my second line there. Look at that. That's the web line through Wix. That's the web number through Wix. That it takes you to the editor and all that stuff. I got a third line as well, but
but they all go to you.
Yes, directly to me. Yes, that's right.
So no bots, You know, no person in another country. You're going right to the man
Correct.
himself.
Yeah, not Apu in India. It's coming straight to Charles. It may come to my wife or an admin person later on as we grow and scale, but I take pride, and I've been doing it for the past 3 years, to make myself as readily available as an instructor as possible, because I know that other instructors, and this is not a shot to them, but are not as readily available as I am. I'm always here. I pick up my phone. As you guys know, every time you call me, I'm picking the phone up or responding to a text message. If I can't pick, I'll say, you know how you dial someone and you can't talk, you just say talk, text, and you'll just return it with text and I'll get back with you. So that is the one thing I live by. So.
Which what truly makes this America's #1 freight broker and dispatching programs. You know, because there's a ton of information, but there's also a ton of access to not only you, but people like Chasa and people like LaDonna and other people like Mr. Nelson. So it's really a community of people.
That is correct. That is correct. And that's what's coming downstream, which is Exodus University. It's going to be a community of resources that the students, former students, current students are providing at their price points. I'm giving an opportunity for them to leverage Exodus to promote their companies and businesses. So putting them in front of my YouTube experience, putting them in front of my Instagram experience, and putting them in front of the Exodus family. So, you know, and I'm endorsing them. So, all right.
So, again, don't forget January 26th. Hit the reserve and buy button now. You know, if you're watching and you're not a dispatcher, you want to be a dispatcher, go to the page, click right there where it says Dispatcher 101, and you can join. And we're running 25% off.
Correct.
If you're watching this today is a good day to make a change in your life and be able to stay at home, to be able to take family on vacations.
Yeah. You know? Take your family to Disney World. If you are in 2023, one of your New Year's resolutions was, look, I'm tired of the 9 to 5. I want to get off the proverbial plantation of my job. I'm tired of being told when to come to work, what to do when I'm at work, and when to leave. If you want to control your own destiny, then entrepreneurship, being your own boss, is the way to go. You could do it in the transportation industry. You could do it in other industry. Our job is to provide you that space in the transportation industry, particularly as a freight dispatcher, where you control your own destiny. We also have freight brokering, but we're talking about dispatching right now. But if you want to leave that plantation, that proverbial 9 to 5, you know, then at least consider this as an option. You know, it's not we're not forcing it on you, but if you want to stay over there and robotically run through your life, or if you want to get out of the matrix and come to your own understanding of who you are and working for yourself, then yeah.
Well, 2 things to add to that. One, really quick, you know, is that people in this industry are making money even when the economy was down and it was COVID and all those things. There were still goods and services being transported across this country. So
I made more money in March in COVID than I did any other month. So, and I can show you the records to prove it. So to that point.
Even if we had another pandemic or epidemic or any of those things, people would still need goods and services.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to piggyback off of what both of you are saying, and say this. You're having an opportunity to work from home, but more importantly, you're having an opportunity to have a peace of mind. No office politics, none of that toxicity that goes on in the office. So do it. Bet on, like I said, bet on yourself. But you say,
time freedom.
Busybody in your business.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're getting your time freedom back. So time that you can spend on vacation, for example. You're getting time freedom back. You don't have to deal with the politics, right? I don't even call it politics. It's politics of employment. So
and the still what Chasa said, no one can fire you.
Right. And you're working from home, you're controlling your own destiny. If you don't work, you don't eat, right? So now that's even more motivation. Being an entrepreneur is harder than being an employee. It's easy to be an employee.
But it's more rewarding.
But it's more, that's the point I was making. It's more rewarding to be an entrepreneur. But being an employee, you have a glass ceiling, you can only go so far. It's unlimited with an entrepreneur.
No one can fire you.
Right. No one can fire you. You don't have that hovering over your head, that weight on your shoulder, that monkey on your back. Right. So
people have been doing it for years, working for them. Why not do it for years, working for you?
Right. You're making your employer or the company you're working for richer. You have a limited amount of space or time or that you can work and make money for them. But they're making millions and millions of dollars, and you're working for them. You're making maybe $50,000 a year, maybe $100,000 a year if you're fortunate.
You're paying for their trips. You're paying for their yachts. It's your work. You know, your work is sending their kids to college.
Right. And I'm not saying that to be. I'm not saying it to be negative. I'm just mentioning that. But look at the alternative. You know, look at the alternative. You've been in this space for a long time. How's that working for you? Right. Look at the alternative and see if that's a possibility for you. And if it is, we have one of those possibilities on this side at this alternative in this. So
it's investment versus spending. Okay. I spent 20 to 25 years working for someone else. And at the end of it, I don't have enough money to pass on to my children. I don't have enough money to retire and still maintain the same lifestyle versus investing in yourself and creating generational wealth for yourself that you can then pass on to your son, pass on to your daughter. This is your company. You know, Legacy Dispatchers is going to go to your son. He's already being groomed on how to keep it going.
So, right. Providing a legacy for the next generation. And I'm sure that's part of the reason why the name was Legacy Dispatch.
Absolutely.
Right? So
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right. We could be all day here, guys, with this. We're trying to prove the point, but I mean, if you are listening to this and you really want to continue this conversation, talking to me specifically or any other, but you can reach out to me, 757-515-1684. I can go into detail all day about it and answer any questions you have, right? We wanted to promote the low board mastery seminar, #1, with Chasa and myself. Chasa is going to mainly do the work part of it. I'll be moderating it, and then we'll be answering questions and going into details about it. And then if you want to take advantage of our ongoing training with Exodus, you can do that as well. I will have the details of the low board mastery seminar as well as the ongoing training in the comments of the video. All right. All right, guys. Thank you. Students to Stars. Students to Stars featuring Chasa Donald and Sadan Loans Consulting. Thank you guys very much for your time. And I'm Charles with Exodus Logistics Learning Center, Dispatcher 101 Training for Beginners.
We out.
All right.
That was fun.